If you've done it
Gary Vee
once,
is live
it's
here,
highly
guys.
likely you can do it again if you can get over the fact that you're losing your arbitrage in its current state. That's key. Cool.
I think we one at the back there.
Okay. There's somebody back there? Oh, here we go.
There you go, there you go.
So Gary Vee, I'm a big fan from India, Jitendra. So I want to know how to get over the breakup thing because it's very emotional and I'm running my own business, but sometimes breakups make me very sad. So how to handle this thing? Please just answer my question.
I mean, look, I think one thing I realize is giving relationship advice is not necessarily the thing that I want to be doing. I think it's appropriate to dwell on something that meant something to you. I think the biggest thing with whether it's things of that nature is you have no choice but to get over it. Yes. Like looking back is always a terrible strategy because it means that somebody's passing you. So I can even see the nature of the lightheartedness that you asked.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult.
I mean, listen, there's a lot of things in life way more difficult than breaking up. And so I think perspective is super important.
Okay, thank you.
You got it.
I asked Gary Vee a question.
I'm Ali.
I asked a
love
question to
your
Gary Vee.
Thank you.
I think my question is how do you become so good at bubble hockey? Well, not really. So I got invited 6 years ago when I was 19. Today I'm 25. I started in venture capital. Now I'm in business development for water company infrastructure. I want to shift to more of a fintech. But I'm living in Singapore now, and I'm from Egypt. And it's a bit difficult because all HR people say that you're an immigrant, you're an expat, you don't have that experience, so they would rather hire local. What should I do? I really do hustle. I want to learn, put in the hours.
To me, the one good thing about the Asian market is there's no shortage of fintech companies. One thing that will resonate for everybody here, it's something I've been thinking a lot more about. I'm stunned at people's want to convince people of things. Selling to the unsellable is the great waste of time. You go to a company, if Jonathan's the head of HR and goes, you're an expat, you're not in, you literally go on to Eliza's company. You literally go to Jamie's company. You literally go to Chase's company. Like, to me, it's all about opportunity. And so, I mean, if you think the MBA is a proper arbitrage to get the job that you want, the problem with an MBA is it takes a lot of time and the market's moving so quickly that if you're putting that against something and then the market moves on you, it becomes supremely unpractical. I think you're just better off asking every single fintech company in Asia to hire you because I think you'll get a yes. Got it.
Hi Gary.
Hello.
Vasu from Chennai. So I follow Planet of the Apps.
It's crazy that Gary Vee is here, guys. Share this video right now with all your people you know. Gary Vee is here, man. Share this video, share this video.
And we're also building, we already built a prototype called something similar to Tracks. Are you still open to take up something like that?
100%. It's Gary@VaynerMedia.com.
Right.
And I will look at it.
Can we have a chat after this? If it's not.
I don't want to promise you because they've got me on a tight schedule.
All right.
But I have 17 fucking hours back to New York. I promise you I'll look at it.
Please, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi guys, we're at the Rise Conference with Mr. Gary Vee. This lady here. There he is.
Hello Gary, my name's Ace from the Philippines and I'd like to know your thoughts on the future of influencer marketing because I see that it's being, it's rising and everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, I think that we haven't even started. I think we've got at least another half decade of hyper growth. I still think it's grossly underpriced in the mid-tail to the long tail. As a matter of fact, I probably think it's underpriced at the 98% of the tail. Maybe only the top 2% is getting appropriately priced. So Ace, I would bet the farm on it. I think you can get a lot of exposure, a lot of growth, a lot of sentiment, and a lot of conversion. Like anything, if you don't know what you're doing, you will not do well. There's a lot of ways you can waste $1 million on influencer marketing, but as somebody who prides himself at looking at the climate, I think it's a grossly underpriced market. And humans, like human beings, if you think about it, a lot of them don't know how to price themselves. Many are grossly overpriced, and a stunning majority are underpriced. I also think that we always have emerging platforms, right? So in America and lots of parts of the world, podcast advertising is grossly underpriced for its attention. So not only is the whole market, in my opinion, underpriced, but for the more sophisticated people in this audience, when there's a new emerging platform, the influencers on that platform inherently are going to be underpriced as people calibrate it. You're welcome, Ace.
Wow.
Hello. Hi. Right here. Got it. Hi.
Hi, I'm Nurul. I run, I don't know if you have expected to have like Muslim girls who are fans, but there are a bunch of us here, so hello.
Hello.
So I run a non-profit trying to get more minority women in tech.
Yes.
And I think one of the criticisms that we always get is like, why is that even something you're bothering with, and like, what is the problem? So what kind of advice would you have for people like me who are doing something that you really believe in, but sometimes it feels like no one else does?
The only good stuff is the stuff when people don't believe. Like if you look at the history of any accomplishment that's interesting, it only starts when the market doesn't see it or agrees with you. I would tell you another thing. Something that I've been thinking a lot about VaynerMedia and other things that I'm involved with. You've got to go to the tippy top. You know, it's very similar to the advice I gave Ollie. Like, you're better off finding people that care about this issue and getting them to dictate. So one of the things I just did to a lot of my hiring team is I'm dictating minority hiring. And they're telling me, Gary, you're making this a status quo. Why are you forcing this? This is my own employees, including women and minorities. Like, why are we forcing it? Number two, you should also go to decision makers. And if they're like, if you can tell they don't give a shit, that I think we desperately need. And I think eventually we're gonna have much smarter conversations, which is not, it's about being politically correct. It's about getting better work. Like when I look at this audience, there's so many different backgrounds, breeds, and that's how you get to more interesting work. Welcome. Yep. Hello.
Hey Gary, I'm Keegan. You speak a lot about sort of revolution happening in audio. I'd love to hear more of your thoughts.
I think that, so I'm obsessed with audio, like obsessed. I think that we are all willing to spend ungodly amounts of money on time. I think if you look at Uber and all the Asian counterparts, like time arbitrage, right? Like why does e-commerce win? It's time arbitrage. Like in a world now where time is the asset that we all crave for, I actually believe that audio is a time saver. Looking at your screen and watching a video.
Share this video,
audio
guys.
Is passive, and you could do something else. So to me, I think that podcasts, Alexa, Google, Apple, you know, infrastructure around audio. I'm fascinated by the first 5 to 10 minutes of everybody's morning, when I think as you're getting up, you're consuming information while you brush your teeth and get on your clothes. I think that we are going to continue to find ways to save time. And I think the inevitable next platform to do that for us is audio. And so that's it. Like, I'm a very basic dude. I mean, probably the majority of my talk right now on the main stage is going to be about attention arbitrage. In such a global environment right now at this conference, the one thing I can promise, whatever country you're from, whatever market you're trying to reach, you look at Asia as a whole, there's so many subcultures, yes. US, India. The one thing that is tried and true is your customer is spending its time paying attention to something, and there's people that underprice it and overpricing. There are things that are overpriced, and there are things that are underpriced. It's as simple as that. That will always be the case. And so I think that audio is the great human underpriced platform of the next half decade. And so it honestly feels like social media did to me in 2006, 7, and 8, which is, I don't think people understand how great of an impact it's gonna have on our, guys, 1 in every 5 Google searches is done by voice.
Yes.
Like, it's coming, it's real.
Wow, man, Gary V.
Hi.
Hi, good afternoon, Gary. So my name is Ting, and I'm running a startup for cross-border branding and e-commerce from Europe to China. So my question is, how would you advise the cross-border branding and sales from Europe to China? Because, you know, the culture, everything's different. How do you convey the message? Yeah, that's the question.
By being schizophrenic. by being okay. I mean it. It's an interesting insight. You have to be okay with being maybe something totally different in two different cultures. Budweiser, a client of mine. In America, average, below average beer. In China, super premium brand. So you have to be comfortable in knowing how to communicate contextual to Europe. And then, by the way, Europe is got its own infrastructures within it. And by the way, China too, right? Like the 3 or 4 biggest cities compared to Midland. So I think it's about embracing the lack of continuity in the message and being contextual to who you're trying to reach and making it relevant to them. I think marketers try to make up bullshit like laddering up to the brand, and what they're doing is it's marketing talk for the sake of marketing talk, and it's not respecting the audience. So embracing the schizophrenia.
Hi, Gary.
Hey, man.
My name is Benoit.
Benoit.
Yeah, and I'm asking because...
Is Benoit's mic on? Good.
Hello.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so you mentioned being a contrarian investor. I meaning doing things that don't look sane in terms of other people, the masses. So what I'm curious about is how data-driven is your fundamental thinking process as an entrepreneur, and how data-driven is your confidence-building process as an entrepreneur? Meaning, you have to come up with an idea, you have to stick with it, and you have to have reasons as to why you stick with it. So how does that all work for you?
No question, a shortcoming of my skill set is data. It doesn't come natural to me. I'm not obsessed by it. I'm a pretty intuitive operator. I'm more emotionally based. I'm intuitive to consumer behavior. I've always thought of data as telling me what already happened instead of what's about to happen. I'm aware, especially since I've been in tech hardcore for 20 years, that data is incredibly powerful, has an incredible important place for many people, but I'm a big fan of betting on strengths for everybody that knows me. So I could spend a lot of time in getting better at data so I could be below average, or I could continue to spend all my time listening to you, engaging with you, and quadrupling down on my hyper skill. So for me, data is a non-factor, but the people I surround myself with, my teammates, oftentimes have that skill set and are feeding me with data and signals that intuitively, I'll play with my team like nonchalantly, like I'm not listening to you, I don't give a fuck. But the truth is, it's penetrating me, right? And so it is not a major pillar. I would say that it is 20% max of the factor to why I'm successful. And I have found that when I get over invested in data and become too aware of it, a lot of the best things don't happen for me, because so much of what works for me is being first to market and getting disproportionate whatever, and no data's ever going to tell you that. Data's going to push against that because there's no data established. But I don't disrespect it. For example, I could be intuitive all I want. If you present me data, I got a great story. I had a UI UX designer at Wine Library who walked into my office in 1999, in 2002, and said, Gary, I think we should change the add to cart button to orange instead of red. And I looked at him and I said, get the fuck out of my office, nerd. Like, you do the coding, I do the marketing. And he said to me, I thought you would say that. I've been running A/B testing, and orange add to cart is doing better than red. And then I looked at him and said, get the fuck out of my office, nerd. He left. I went in the bathroom. I looked myself in the mirror, and I knew I had a very interesting moment in my career. My whole life, and I was young, but for the last 10, 15 years, my intuition was outselling anything I competed with. Here came a kid that barely could look you in the eye, not a salesman at all, tech nerd, and he had data that proved that he could sell more than me. It was a very defining moment for me. I could have, A, been emotional that there was something emerging that was going to arbitrage my natural talent, or B, I could have embraced it. I got out of my bathroom, I went to his office, I said, switch it to orange. And so I don't disrespect data, but that's after intuition. And I like it best when my intuition's proven out properly with data.
Thank you.
Hi guys.
Hi.
I'm Maddie. I'm from Blogapalooza, Philippines.
Yes.
So my question is, everyone here loves you because of your achievements. out of everything you've been through, what is the best advice you can give to people working in startups or startup founders?
To never like somebody based on their achievements, to like them based on how they achieve their achievements. To me, it's so important. Like, if you're building a startup, everybody here, I would tell you, looking at the faces here, 97% impatient. And that's where the vulnerability sits, right? So for me, there are plenty of people that will achieve more than me. What I'm trying to do is achieve a lot in a much more noble way than most people. And so I think that comes out of patience. So I would give the advice here, if you're trying to do something meaningful, think about it in 20 and 30 year terms, not in 20 and 30 week terms. And